To that, I will welcome you all to the stream. I don't know how many is going to join today, but hopefully at least a few of you, of those who have come in and watched then and then, because after all, I was trying to make the stream last night. I was trying to make that the final episode, but unfortunately, something came up that basically forced me to hurry. So when I came to this situation, I realized I was going to have to talk to everyone here. I realized that I do not have time to do so, but at the same time I didn't want to rush through it. I wanted to listen to everyone, because if there's one thing that this game has done well, or at least I should say has shown me, is that an anime story works very well in a gameplay aesthetic. What I mean with that is that many times in animes they either are way too short of time, or they simply just rush through many character arcs. But with the bonding episodes that we have had that basically are in between the phases, it has allowed us to very much get to know every single one of these characters very well. And even though I have a lot of complaints with the game, this is one of its very, as I should say, great moments. So of course I have no idea how long this stream is going to be. It could be as short as maybe just 15-20 minutes, or it could be much longer depending on how long this transpires. But we're going to listen to everyone here. We did listen to Gemma and Luca, but I want to listen to them again because of the thing I was so stressed out at the end of the episode last night. So I'll listen through every one of them and just hear what they have to say and finish off the story. It could be as short as maybe 15-20 minutes, but it could be even longer. So, by all means, let's begin with this. Let's begin
Yuito,
here. That will be good.
Chairman Sumeragi, your father, this new history didn't change what happened to him. The sins of Togetsu didn't change either. I plan to atone for assisting them. I hope I can help with the dismantling of Togetsu as well. What are you going to do? I heard you were retiring, but what about after that?
Oh, you heard already?
Of course. I was the leader of Kyoka platoon, so I'll hear things amongst the command.
Right. For now, I'd like to do some studying. I also have to clean up the scandals around the Sumeragi name.
Oh, then I might be able to help you, too.
Huh? What do you mean?
I also plan on retiring once things calm down. Since I'm testifying to what Togetsu did, it would only cause trouble if I stayed in the OSF.
I see. I guess that's what it means to bring what Togetsu did to light.
If I leave the OSF, there won't be anything tying me down anymore. I think I can also convey the efforts Chairman Sumeragi went through to protect New Himuka.
But why? Even if you feel responsible for Togetsu, what my father did...
Is Wakana being happy not a good enough reason?
My mom? You mean when you were monitoring my mom?
Yes. Chairman Sumeragi certainly took part in some inhumane activities. Even if it was allowed politically, he can't be forgiven. But that's not everything Chairman Sumeragi was. He got in the way of Togetsu. He was assassinated because he tried to protect New Himuka from Togetsu. I'm sure of it. The chairman's merits and demerits should both be made public. That should be detailed in Togetsu's materials.
I didn't think anyone would look at it that way. I'm glad. To be honest, I was a little depressed about it. Because some people say the Sumeragi family was controlling New Himuka for their own interests. My father and brother did some horrible things.
That shouldn't be all. It should all be brought to light. I'll help you do that.
Thanks. Even if it's the hard truth, I'll face it head on.
Yeah, that sounds about right. They feel almost like short Bond episodes every single one of these. And that's just fine. I mean, because to be honest, it's I didn't think, but when I talked to Gemma, even though I wasn't really focusing last time, when I talked to Gemma, it was a little bit emotional actually, because Gemma is my favorite character by far of this lineup, and just, I mean, even though technically it's a little bit cliche-ish when you have the conversation with them, but due to the fact you have been playing and fighting alongside them, you have been talking a lot, you have been doing the Bond episodes, you get much more connected to the characters than just if you're watching, and I think that a lot of animes could try to get some form of lesson from this. That's for sure. Either way, let's continue with Hanabi
Aunt
then.
Alice is really nice, but there are still times I just don't know what to say to her. Oh, my mom and dad left a message. They told me to invite you for dinner. Food tastes better when you eat with friends. It's just like when we were little. Oh, I heard you put in your resignation.
Yeah, I made up my mind. Once everything calms down and the OSF is back to business as usual, I plan to retire.
So it's really true. Well, I'm sure there are so many things you still want to do. Do your best in your new life. I'll do my best in the OSF. I guess, well, we should both do our best.
I guess that's a good summary, but you're right. I mean, I feel safe leaving the OSF in your hands, Hanabi.
Really? I'm not good enough to say that you can count on me, and there are so many obstacles I need to overcome. But I'm confident that I won't give up.
I know. It's not easy trying to live up to your ideals, but I know you can do it.
Thanks. Just watch. I'll prove I can. And I'll be watching you too.
Yeah. Oh, didn't you say you had something to tell me?
I can't say yet, but be ready, because I will tell you someday. Once I become the person I want to be.
What do you mean, be ready? I don't really understand, but I'll be waiting until you say it's time.
Don't wait too long, Hanabi, because he could always find someone new, you know. Yeah, I mean, that seems very much like a continuation of what we were discussing, so... And I think this is one going to be... Now wait. So, I mean, I don't understand why we're going to talk to her here, because we have basically never spoken to her. But fine. Let's
The
continue
history
here
we
then.
know only exists in our heads, right? I think we should make a memorial before our memories fade. I'm gonna write down the history that we lived in a historical novel. It'll just be fiction to the rest of the world, though. I'll need your help, too. Of course, I'll do everything I can to support you when you need as well. Just like always. Even if you quit the OSF, that won't change. This is just between us, though, okay?
Oh, so we didn't even... Oh! So that's more or less how the situation would have been if we hadn't done Bond episodes. That could be the case. In that case, I'll go quickly do this as well, just
I
to
was
get
thinking
those
maybe I
out
would
of the way.
apply for the Lunar Surface Survey project. I want to see how people lived on the moon. Then maybe I'll sort of understand what Togetsu was trying to do. Telepathy probably won't reach here from the moon. I wonder if Wataru will cry because he misses me. I'm just joking. Even without my power or SAS, I'm still connected to my brother and everyone else. It's like an ability that's more than a power.
Right, we got them out of the way. Alright, let's talk to the one that even though I have started to open up to him towards the end of the game, I still never really fully opened up to him.
In
But
this
still,
history,
let's see what he
it
has to
wasn't
say.
Karin that started a rebellion with Seiran, but another OSF soldier. He's a known veteran, and I recognize his face, but I don't think he's an equal to Karin. However, history is taking almost the same path. It's something that's beyond human comprehension.
I still don't understand how he was able to do that. I mean, sure, if he went back and tried to say... I mean, how the hell would... I still feel like they could easily make a sequel to this and just discuss the different effects that, or the different effects that Karen's jump in time really had on history. Because sure, he's not going back. Oh, we don't know how far back he went. He could have gone back 1,000 years or so. And even though they are saying that everything worked out just fine, all that's different is that Karen never existed and Aunt Alice is alive. I mean, you really think that that's all the difference? It feels like they are wrapping it up a little bit too easily there.
Oh yeah, I heard you've been having some trouble. The crows are all over you.
It's my family. Now that Kaito is out of the government, the press has turned on him and are just saying whatever they want. Since I was part of the operation that got rid of the extinction belt, they've been hounding me. It's the same with you, right?
That's true, but you have the advantage of being a Sumeragi. Public opinion and the press just latch on to what's easy to understand. Most people don't try to see what's really going on.
Oh, are you actually worried about me?
That's not what I meant. I was just checking because it wouldn't be good if it got in the way of our missions.
I'm fine. It's not like I'm being chased around by the crows all day, every day. Things will settle down eventually. Oh, but I might already be retired by then.
I see. If you retire, you'll be a civilian. Weak. You can sit and watch me climb the ranks.
You don't change, do you? Though you're right. I won't be able to fight the others anymore. I won't be able to go watch the thunderclouds outside the city like we did either.
Apparently,
Why
New
wouldn't you be able
Himuka's
to do
climate
that?
changed after the extinction belt
Oh.
disappeared.
Hmm?
We might get a chance to see lightning up close again. I wouldn't be opposed to taking you. You can thank me later.
Wow.
Yeah, you could
conceited
easily do
much?
that. I mean,
It would be nice to see them with you again.
yeah. Nice. I don't really know what more to say, man. It was a nice moment. And yeah, I mean, even if he loses his powers and retires, sure as hell he can go and watch thunder. I mean, why wouldn't he be able to do that? But still, he put up an interesting thing there. So it's been 3 months, and there are still others. Sure, I understand that the particles in themselves aren't connected with the extinction belt. That basically means that the others that were already created are still here. But they are not gonna be or technically they could be, because sure, the extinction belt, so the extinction belt is gone, so there are no others that can be created through natural means. So that of course means there's gonna be a lot fewer others out there. But since both New Himuka and Seiron have particles stored, I don't think that they are destroyed. I think that they still have them. So they could easily continue making others if they so would want to do so. So the threat of the others remain, but they are not going to just pop up like they've done before. So yeah, I can understand that the OSF still is needed, but I still think it's going to be more that when they are going to have to shut down, because there are not going to be any others to fight. Alright,
It looks like the cryogenic sleep chambers stopped functioning when Babe went down. My old associates were taken into custody by the government. Well, they can't do anything without Babe anyway. I'm in a pretty bad spot too. Well, I guess it's obvious they're suspicious of me as well. There's also the thing with Chairman Sumeragi. I'm on release without indictment, hunting others for now, but I'll probably be arrested soon.
I see.
Don't look at me like that. I know you want to say I told you so.
I want you to pay for what you did, but I don't feel smug about it. You're one of us, even if you did some bad things.
Don't you find it hard to live with that personality?
I managed to make it to 16 like this, so no.
That's true. So what are your plans now?
I'll retire.
Is he just 16?
I won't be able to stay in the OSF if I lose my powers. Besides, there's a bunch of stuff I want to do.
Then come visit me if I get thrown in prison. I'd like to know how things are going and how Tsugumi is doing.
Okay. My brother might get caught too, so I can visit you when I visit him.
Hey, am I just an afterthought?
I'm kidding. Besides, Major General Fubuki said that your sentence would be lighter because of everything you did to help. That's why instead of worrying about what will happen when you're caught, you should worry about what you'll do after.
After that? I'm sure I'll be discharged from the OSF. I heard the Lunar Surface Survey project will be going forward, so I'll probably help with... No, it's still a little too hard to go back home to the moon. I'll probably just stay here and clean up the Togetsu mess. I've been on Earth for a while, but I've done so much lying in my life. It might be good to finally live honestly for once.
Then teach me about politics.
Why me? Do I look like I'd be good at it?
Weren't you the commander of the colonists? I looked it up after Kasane told me your real name. You're actually really good at politics.
Oh man, it sucks to have so much information about you etched in history. Well, I'm tired living a life of lies. It might not be so bad being your tutor.
So, what are those lies? I mean, or more or less, what is his real name? So Kasane found out your real name, and she... So what is it? It's the same thing, or that could be a secret, because a thing I thought about last night after the stream is that Luca, he told us about himself. Of course, we found out that he was a dud before, and he went through the same experiments that we as Yuito did. But that story, that part of the story, we never heard. Or as I should say, Kasane never heard that. Which means that from her perspective, if you were to play that game again from her perspective, you wouldn't hear that. You wouldn't know that. So it could be that we as... if we were to play again as Kasane, we would learn a lot more about, let's say, Kagero, his real name, and that kind of stuff. Alright, I would like to take my remaining team members last. I know I did Hanabi rather early, but since Tsugumi and Gemma are my two favorite characters, I'm going to take them last. Or should I take Kasane last? Alright, I'll take Kasane last.
It seems that you and Kasane have something to do with the fact that we're the only people who realize that history has changed. When the world was altered, we were connected to Red Strings users through SAS. So we became observers as well. Well, it's all speculation.
Well, it does make sense. But if you were connected to Arahabaki, that would mean that Arahabaki would remember everything as well. So if someone were to go into Arahabaki and search its systems, it would find information about this timeline, wouldn't it? You see, I'm actually picking up a lot of stuff they could actually make a sequel in, even though the main issues are gone and we wouldn't be able to play as Yuito. But they could basically just make a game where you only play as Kasane, and then Yuito basically comes in like. Can be basically like a politics, can be almost like his brother was in this game. And then you could only play as Kasane. I would be very fine with that.
Regardless, that time travel power is incredibly strong. If history was going to change, it could have made someone else head of PR. Ugh, I'm beat.
You do seem pretty busy lately. You're booked for constant interviews, so you don't have time to slack off.
If you understand, then take over for me. I really am going to quit being the PR person, I mean it.
You say that now, but the fact that you're going to keep working in the OSF means that you're worried about Major General Fubuki.
Oh boy. You really do have some obsession about siblings. How many times do I have to tell you I don't care about my brother that much?
Obsession. Well, I'm a younger brother, so maybe I want to dream.
Are things not going well with former Chief Kaito?
The thing about family and siblings is that you can't cut ties that easily, even if you hate them. And sometimes, those ties aren't cut when you thought they were. You know what I mean, right? So sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
I see. Those are some grim prospects.
Yours aren't as complicated as mine. So you should help out Major General Fubuki. When the timeline changed so that Alice was alive and Karin never existed, I think it's been tough for both Luca and your brother. When the timeline changed so that Alice was alive and Karin never existed...
Wait, what just happened?
I think it's been tough for both Luca and your brother.
It just redid. What the hell is that
Are
kind
you
of
trying
bug?
to say that since you're a younger brother, you understand people who have older siblings who make their lives difficult?
Well, more or less. I'm sure you didn't need me to point out that you and Major General Fubuki have a special bond.
You're such a dreamer. We don't have anything like that. Besides, Fubuki isn't a kid. He decides how he wants to handle this history. I may be his sister, but it's not my place.
I see. Yeah, you're right. Maybe it's none of my business.
You never change. You're frustratingly good-natured. You know, you should be worrying more about yourself.
Really?
But that is also your strength. It has to be exhausting, though. No, don't worry. I don't plan on quitting the OSF for now. Fubuki isn't even part of my consideration. There's a lot of benefits to a stable job once you learn all the tricks to slack off.
Okay, got it. You're staying because of Major General Fubuki. That's a relief. Good on you.
So you're going to pretend you didn't hear me. You might actually have what it takes to be a politician.
Well, that sentence is actually kind of fun, what you said. Basically that a comfortable job, a stable job where you know how to slack off. That's when you know, basically, when you have a job and you had it for long enough that you know exactly when and how you can slack off, so that the job basically isn't as stressful and worrying, then you know that you're in a comfortable situation. I felt that myself too when I've been working, so when you know that, yeah, alright, the boss is not gonna come during these hours, so I can just relax a little bit around that time. Some tricks up your sleeve here and there. Alright then, so I have talked to everyone in that group. I have Sugumi left, I have Kasane, Gemma, and Luca. You know what? Let's take Luca. Just get that over.
A world where Alice is alive. This is what Karin wanted, though it is only in hindsight. What my brother did, I believe it was wrong.
Yeah, it really was.
I think I felt his thoughts for a moment at the end there. I don't agree with him, but for now I am trying to accept this world.
Yeah, it still is something that all of these individuals need to keep in mind. Even though it looks like he succeeded with his plan, there can be a lot of things that have changed. And, I mean, there's a lot of movies, TV series, and games that take time travel a little bit too easy. If I were ever to make a game, movie, or anything, and there was time travel in it, I would really make it very obvious that time travel is extremely dangerous. And it can alter everything. There are some shows who actually very well showcase this. And I hope that if there is, like, if the anime that is coming out is going to continue and go even further in the story than this, or go in a different direction completely, or if there comes a sequel, I hope that they bring in those aspects. That what Karin did, even though it seems good now, or what it looks like, is everything seems alright. That everything isn't alright, that something is still wrong and needs to be dealt with. That is something I do think they could make an arc on, and even a sequel, to be honest.
By the way, did you have your brain examined?
Yeah. My power was acquired, so they said I have a very high chance of losing it.
I see.
Don't look so down. I said I don't care about it. I'll be alright.
Oh.
You really are
Very strong chance, but
I
not
must bolster myself so I don't fall
100%.
into despair. You climbed the mountain with me, so I can't look glum in front of you.
You don't have to pretend to be happy. Karin was
I know. And I appreciate that. However, I want to push my limits here. The fact that my brother vanished is confusing. But whatever this world is now, I did have a brother. If this is the world my brother wished for, then I want to watch over it and be a part of it as well. I want to be strong for that. Stronger than him.
Yeah. Even if Karin was the one who created this current timeline, it's up to us to create the future.
Are you planning on retiring from the OSF?
Nothing gets past you. I've already put in my request. I'll be back to being a civilian after I take care of a few things. I can't stay in the OSF if I lose my powers.
Even if you didn't lose your power, I think you would have still chosen retirement in order to protect this country differently from the OSF.
You think so? You might be right. I realize that there are a lot of different ways to help people.
Yes, we will both do what we can to create a better future. I want to use this given power to carry out my duties in the OSF. Even if it was given to me, I should use it to the fullest. I've come to terms with the many parts that make me who I am.
You truly are a Septentrion. So reliable. I'll keep doing my best, too. We might be going about it differently, but I'm sure we're striving for the same future.
Oh, it is important to maintain your physical health after your retirement if you're going to accomplish something significant. I can help you come up with a training regimen.
So that part of you hasn't changed. You really are amazing. Okay, don't make it too tough, though.
Yeah, it is, I mean, but at the same time, I feel like if he is 16 now, then let's say that this, we of course had no idea exactly how long, because they said 3 months, but we don't know how long the game actually took place. It might be a few weeks, at most, to be honest. A few weeks must have been at most. So he, if that of course is the right thing, he would have been in the OSF for less than a year. And I think that, I mean, sure, I understand what he wants to do. That's not the problem here. I understand precisely that he wants to get out of the OSF, both because he thinks he's going to lose his power. He believes that he's going to lose his power, or he has a big chance of losing his power. But at the same time, it's, yeah, I feel like it's too early for him. I think he shouldn't leave the OSF right away. He should actually, of course now we don't know how long it's going to take for the OSF to calm down, but still, it's, I mean, and since the OSF at this point is more on a ticking, not I was about to say ticking time bomb, that's not the right word. I mean, it's on a timer, because there are no new others that are going to be created through natural means, which means the only new ones are going to be artificial, meaning that there are going to be a specific number of others remaining, and the OSF are going to be able to eliminate them. So for every other that's eliminated, there's one less that's going to be in the fight, so after a while, there's not going to be a need for the OSF. And sure, it might be many years in the future, but I feel like he could at least stay until that job is done. And if he can't be a soldier anymore, then why not just take the chief position? Just as your brother did. And then use that then as a springboard into the higher parts of the government. Yeah, well, as you hear, I'm just speaking my mind at the moment, because to be honest, we're going for 30 minutes already. I did not think it was going to be this long, but either way, let's talk to Tsugumi.
Blue sky is beautiful. The sun feels warmer than before somehow. I'm sure the animals are happy the extinction belt is gone too. We have to put the hideout's potted plants outside sometimes. Kaguro helps me with that. So, did you help with the hideout's plants?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I put them out, give them water and nutrients. Was that bad?
No, I'm glad you took care of them, even with everything that's going on.
It's because I took what you taught me seriously. The spathiphyllum buds are getting pretty big.
I'm glad.
Yeah, I'm just glad that they can bloom at the hideout.
That's not it. I was glad to stay in your platoon.
What? Oh, you mean when Major General Fubuki said he would reorganize us?
Yes, I was a little worried then. Of course, I decided to stay in the platoon after some careful consideration. That decision was about parting with the OSF. I don't handle change very well.
But you still came with us. Thanks. It was really reassuring when you decided to come.
I need to thank you, too. You've given me so much courage. You became my friend and told me I can be who I am.
You're making me blush. I barely did anything.
I wish I could be in Yuito platoon forever. But that won't happen, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I won't be able to stay in the OSF if I lose my powers. And besides, there's a bunch of stuff I want to do.
It's important to do what you want. It's a little unfortunate, but we'll still be friends, won't we?
Of course we're friends. And student-teacher.
You're like the sun to me, Yuito.
Oh,
What?
that came out of nowhere.
Because plants need sun to grow. Even if you leave the OSF, I know you'll be working hard somewhere. That's enough to keep me motivated to grow.
Then you're like the soil to me. The land, earth. Even if we're not in the same place, let's do our best where we are.
Let's have a competition to see whose flower will be prettier. I won't lose.
It's a bit weird that her hair color changed depending on the image, on the different two images. I will say this, thank you for everything, Tsugumi. I've used your help with those, with your revolvers, I don't know how many times, and they've dealt so much damage. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Tsugumi. That is why you are my second favorite character here. Not just because the fact that you are just cute, and I think that your relationship with Yuito has been an extremely fun, enjoyable story, and that you actually have had character growth. It's just wonderful to see. And then of course, you have been a very big help in combat. Thank you very much. Alright then, let's see then. So it's Gemma and Kasane left then. I should say thank you to you also, Hannah. I don't know how many times I used your fire. Very useful. Alright, let's do Gemma then, my favorite character.
His cherry blossoms are as beautiful as ever. Even though history changed, Seto and Nagi, their deaths weren't erased. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't hoping for a miracle. But I guess I need to face reality. Anyway, how have you been feeling?
I'm fine right now. I can still use my power, but thanks for your concern. You're always worried about other people. I think that's amazing.
You're still the same. You always look for the best in people.
What? That was sudden. I'm embarrassed.
You took me in after my mistakes and showed me the right way. I'm grateful.
I'm grateful to you too. You were always saving my butt. Also, I think you and the others guided me a lot too. So, I guess that means we found a path we could take together.
I see. Maybe Yuito Platoon felt so nice because you were the one in charge. You could call it a family. I don't have any family left, but the warmth I felt in the Yuito Platoon was just like it.
Family? Then I guess you'd be the oldest brother.
I'm basically the same age as Chairman Sumeragi.
No, but your body is still young. You decided to stop acting old.
Right. I still have a lot of life to enjoy.
Don't make it sound like a chore. You have to ease up. You're so serious. Oh, right. We should go to that gyoza place again. I registered an account on their app.
You too? I actually registered on the app as well. Okay, let's go try out some of the new stuff on the menu next time.
That's just a nice. The entire conversation. I mean, the story, the Bond episodes with Gemma are the ones I've enjoyed the most. Even though there was a lot of conversations in the beginning with just food. Sure, that's fine, but we talked a lot about being old and not really having many friends or family, and we're discussing, and I thought it was a kind of good story, and then of course the story about his friend was even better. It's just, I felt that his Bond episodes were, and I think that thanks to them being good, I was able to connect with Gemma a lot more than I did with many of the others. It was basically Gemma and Tsugumi that I connected most with, due to their Bond episodes and of course how they play and how they act. So, I don't know if... So most likely after talking because Kasane here, everything ends. So, yeah. It's a little bit emotional actually leaving them.
Major General Fubuki is late. Maybe we should contact him. By the way, don't you want to talk to everyone?
Oh, basically it's... Oh, okay, I see. But I think I've talked to everyone, haven't I? Yeah, I think I have. I don't think I've missed anyone. So... No, I'm good.
No, I'm good.
But I have talked to everyone, so technically I've already done that. Should have been one of my ways to talk to them. Alright, so let's finish off this story then. Hopefully.
Sorry for keeping everyone waiting.
When's the last time everyone got together like this? I'm glad to see nobody's changed.
It hasn't been that long. I've been so busy I actually lost track of time. Man, I need a break.
That makes sense since you've had to deal with the media every day. Seriously, good work.
It appears there hasn't been much change with the others in this area.
While new others haven't appeared since the extinction belt dissipated, it's not like the ones already here just suddenly went away.
Oh,
Yeah.
Precisely.
Looks
My
like I
theory was
won't be
correct.
retiring anytime soon.
That's right. We need to keep protecting everyone.
I heard they're going to change the other reports to a system that tracks them on the surface.
It looks like things are going to start changing around here, little by little.
All right, let's do what we came here to do.
But you never discussed that, but I suppose they already know then, huh?
That should do it. I want to thank everyone for coming today to honor him.
So we're the only ones who remember Karen.
The world changed, but we weren't affected by it.
Erasing his own existence like that? I never would have thought he had it in him.
Maybe it was the price to change the world the way he desired. Although I'm sure he doesn't look at it as paying a price. Why do you have to go off and make me an only child?
He will exist as long as we remember him. We know that he was here in this world.
Yes.
Well, are you guys ready to head home?
I wouldn't mind taking out a few others around here on our way out.
Ugh, such the diligent soldier. Who in their right mind asks to do more work?
Yuito. How are your powers?
There haven't been any big changes so far. I'll stay in the OSF a little while longer, then retire once everything calms down a bit.
And after that?
Well, I've got a lot on my mind in terms of what I want to do. It might sound conceited, but I want to change the world so duds like me have a place in it. I'd also like to face what my father and brother have done. I'm a member of the Sumeragi family, after all.
Never really discussed that part either. If
And there's
the kids
other
were born
particles as well.
other particles.
Oh, that's true.
The extinction belt is gone.
He's actually taking it
Yeah,
up.
but it's originally from space, right? It could appear again someday, since we didn't get it at the source.
That's true.
That's why I think we should study the other particles more closely, so we can eventually prevent, or even cure metamorphosis.
I had no idea you had so much on your mind. Does that mean you're going to get involved in politics?
Sounds that way, huh? Although, I'm not really cut out to be a politician.
Really? From what I've seen of you lately, I bet you'd be good at it.
What, really? I don't know if it'll suit me, but I'm thinking about going to college. I want to study politics, and not because of who my dad was. I want to change New Himuka. You've made your decision too, haven't you?
Yes. I've decided
It is
to
weird
go.
with the animations of the mouse.
There.
To the moon. We'll be pretty far away from each other. But at least, I can always look up at night.
Every one of us is born alone. But even though we're alone, we can connect with each other. Where we are doesn't really matter.
Kasane. I'll keep living, no matter what.
Oh, the strings are connected. They are all connected. Was that the end then? To the unknown future. Reach the first playthrough and the first saved clear data. Alright, I'll just do a save there and see what happens now. Does it unlock open world for us, or Yuto's story cleared? Oh, it just says like that and nothing more. And now I'm just pressing obtain Phantom Art Phoenix Moth document. Can exchange for items at shop. EX new game unlocked. When you clear the game with either Yuito or Kasane, X new game will be added to the title screen. You can start the game again, maintaining your levels. Oh, I see. Also, when game cleared save data is loaded, you will restart from the hideout. There are more quest givers in each area, and you can accept special gifts. Okay. So does that mean that they are unlocked? So I can run around as I want to? Oh, this is the title scene. Or title scene. Title screen. Music is completely gone. It's weird. And there it's back. I will say that was really nice. That just flew in very well into the entire story. So if I do this, X new game. Alright then. Then that's it. As we saw... Oh, okay. Let's see if I can get the music down a little bit. I think I can talk over it, hopefully. It took 45 minutes! Much longer than I thought, actually, but it was a lot of discussions with the characters, saying goodbye to them, and just a lot to do, to be honest. And so, allow me to just say my final thoughts before I finish this. The game is good. The story is good, and I will say this. One of the big things I will say immediately is that I praise the game developers that they did one of the things even though I love anime, there's one of the things I really hate with anime, and that is the over-sexualization of women. I hate when they basically make the chest area extremely, or as I should say, unrealistically large, when they make the outfits just completely bonkers and just make them just uncomfortable to wear. I mean, there's no way no one would ever wear something like that. But this one, Scarlet Nexus, without, of course, we had have I forgotten already what it was called? But basically, the clone, the one who was able to do duplication, she had rather large breasts. But to be honest, that's fine if that is the only thing you have, because every other character seemed to be. I mean, look at Kasane is a good example. That's a cool, good-looking outfit. I mean, that's good. I mean, it's great. I see no problem with it. And that's with all the other girls and boys as well. I really feel like, for once, they just felt, you know what? No, we're not gonna do that. We are going to do as we want to do it. And I am so happy they did. I really am. Now, of course, the music kicks in, so I don't know how this is going to affect what I'm saying, but either way, let's go from that point and go into something else instead. Alright, that's a good thing. That's something they should really, that many other anime studios, game developers and everything should take with them, that, yeah, we might actually think over something like that again. The story was good. It was still a lot of confusing moments. I mean, in Phase 3 already, we were introduced to an aspect of the game that really basically, it shifted tone and made it so that you were basically asking questions and questions upon questions. And it wasn't until the later phases where you actually started getting answers to them. And it was really frustrating that, from Yuito's point of view at least, it really felt like he was sidelined. That he was not the focus of the game. And sure, that if they decided to do so, then fine, then I can play as Kasane and hopefully get more answers. But the fact that there are so many different aspects in the game, and so the story it's okay, but not like it blew me away. It had a lot of cliches, it had a lot of just standard moments, to be honest. There wasn't, I mean, and there were a lot of things like the Togetsu story arc that felt like it just collapsed on itself. I mean, Babe just shut down, and we never even got to try to defeat that big other inside Togetsu. We never got to see the end of that arc. We never got to see what happened with them. They just talk about it. And then we also have the end of the game, where we are supposed to go in and take out the last entanglement. And then Karen does it. And he changes history, which could have tremendous... it just spins these kind of things. The entire story just spins for me. Because they still have questions that needs to be answered, which they really don't answer, which is so annoying. But if we don't go over a little bit into gameplay-wise, the gameplay, it really felt like it was second-hand, especially towards the end, because then it was extremely repetitive and tenacious, and they were just throwing things at you for just basically to force you to play the game for a much longer period of time. Phase 12, which true was the last phase, but you could walk 5 meters and then you were into an area where there was a lot of just repetitive and annoying enemies. And then when you were done with that area, you could walk another 5 meters and you were in another one of them. It was so annoying, it was so just no. That level design of the last phase, and I should also say phase 10, when we were inside Togetsu, had the same feeling that it was just throwing things at you without any understanding of why. It didn't feel natural, it didn't feel like this is happening because it should happen, or as I should say. And it meant that, so Phase 10 with Togetsu and Phase 12 was really bad level design and really made me, I mean, episode 22, so 2 streams ago, I was about to take my controller and smash it in the wall because I was so bloody frustrated with the game of that level design. I was so frustrated. And then in episode 23, I started off with the end of Phase 12, but already just with the end, I was so frustrated, so frustrated. Just allow the music to calm down a little bit, just to and also gather my thoughts a little bit more. So, I actually am looking forward to the anime. I would like to see the anime and see if they can make it, because in an anime we could see both perspectives at the same time. We could see both Yuto and Kasane's perspective, basically just switching scenes. And I hope they do that, because I don't want them to do basically one season with Yuto's perspective and then one season with Kasane's point of view. I would rather basically see it going like 3-4 seasons of just showing us this. I hope they also prolong it and show us a little bit what happens after. Because I think that even though they do leave it in a way that you could make a sequel, you could make a Scarlet Nexus 2. You could make further animes as well, because you are opening up. I mean, we still don't know what's going on the moon. We don't know if if his political career is actually going to end in anything special, and we don't know how Kasane is even going to get up there. So there are a lot of aspects you could explore in a game. And I mean, there could still be an extinction belt on the moon. We don't know that yet. So there are a lot of those aspects that could be explored in another title. Now, would I recommend this game? No, I wouldn't. Both because the game is very much, I mean, the story is understandable and all of it, but the biggest issue I have is the fact that this is a full-priced game. As in United States usually say, a $60 game. It's a full-price game. And even though it is a good story, it's a lot of gameplay, I don't think it's not good enough. I mean, when games like Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA go for full price, I mean, and then you give us this. Yes, it's an okay game. By all means, I'm not saying it's a bad in that sense. The gameplay isn't good. The cosmetics as well is not good. I mean, you could barely change anything of the guys. That was really sad that you couldn't. I mean, there was no outfit change whatsoever. It was really bad, to be honest. The visuals. But it's okay. It's okay. But it's not worth full price. Not at all. This, if you want to play this, like, for example, you would like to play it from Kasane's point of view, then fine, do that. But I recommend that you wait until this game is on sale. I don't think this game has actually done very well when it comes to sales. I haven't checked that up, but I have a feeling it might not have gone that good. And because of that, I think it is going to be a sale not too long from now. But then I recommend you doing it when it's a sale, because I don't think it's worth full price. Not at all. It would have needed to deliver a lot more gameplay elements, a lot more better cosmetics to be able to be used, and of course, most importantly, they had very few cinematics in the game. They showed us that they could do it, and for a full price game, I'm really expecting cinematics full on through, and they didn't do it here. So I really don't like that. It feels like they basically made the story and then just threw in some gameplay on it and just threw you out and just do whatever. So even though I would say that the main missions were good, the Bond episodes were good, but the quests, the side missions that you could find, I did a few of them, not a lot of them. They were not good. they were more or less chores. That was all they were. And it was sometimes even hard to understand what they were actually looking for. And since you weren't able to track the side quests, as you usually can do in other games, it also meant that it became almost alienated on what you were actually supposed to do. But I will leave you with those words, because I can ramble on for a long time here, and if that is what you would like to hear in a future playthrough, then by all means, I will continue to ramble like this. But, of course, I could always start the game over from Kasana's point of view, and I would have nothing against doing that. I would like to actually see her point of view and see her struggles with Naomi. Since we saw the struggles with Nagi here, even though they were very... I mean, they could have implemented that a lot more into the game. Of course, I could see much more on the metamorphosis and understand that much better with Kasana's point of view. And I would also like to see how the world looked 50 years in the future when they did that time jump. But I am not going to do it yet. It's going to take a while before I do that. And if this streaming, if my Twitch actually starts getting a few new followers, and actually starts getting back on its feet, then maybe I will take it up in a future, basically, when I ask you guys what you would like to see in the future. And then maybe we will come back and play Kasane's point of view. But until then, I will be playing other games. I will be playing some Splitgate, going forward a little bit here now, until I find a new game I would like to do a playthrough on. Either way, thank you everyone who came out to watch both this final. I know there wasn't a lot of people, but for those who did, thank you very much. And for those who have come out to watch the entire thing, either now or in the future, thank you very much. And I hope that if you enjoyed this at any point, please give a follow. Please you can be up to date on what we will do next. After all, this was my first playthrough. It taught me a lot on basically how I should be talking, how I should be, how I should do the streams and all that. But of course, there's a lot more to learn. This, of course, was just my first playthrough. So, either way, thank you, Scarlet Nexus, for at least giving me something to do a playthrough on. And I thank you all the characters, and also I thank you for making me fall in love with a few of the characters. But you have a lot, but this game and the game developers still have a lot to learn, because there were still a lot of flaws in the game that really. So if I were to rate this game, I would give it a 6. The 6 is basically just for a okay, decent story, as well as being able to make us feel something from many of the characters. And also for leaving it more on almost a cliffhanger. I think that this is one of the games I really think they did a very good ending on. The fact that they were actually able to make it almost like a completion of the story, but at the same time leave it on a cliffhanger. That is actually the best way you can end anything. Because what that means is that we as players, we as viewers, feel like, yes, we're done. We don't need anything more. But at the same time, there is still stories to be told if the game or show will be popular in the future. So basically, so they could continue with it if they felt for it. Alright, I've been rambling on for almost 15 minutes now, so I think it's time for me to stop rambling at the moment. But yet again, thank you all for watching, and I hope that you will give a follow if you enjoyed this at any point, and stay tuned for both standard multiplayer gameplay, but also new playthroughs in the future. And with that, I say goodbye.